goes on. Of course, I have here Oscar with me.
What's up?
And David.
Hey.
And you, of course, know me, Eddie Sanchez. And yeah, today's topic is going to be Mortal Kombat. It just got released today. Of course, it was pushed back from last week. So we all jumped on the hype train because, of course, we grew up with this video game. And so we wanted to watch it. And let's go ahead and talk about it and see how it stacks up to the original and Annihilation. I'll give it up to you guys. What did you guys think?
I'm sorry, I was disappointed.
It held up to my expectations, like I said before. I still enjoyed it. I would watch it one more time before they take it off. It wasn't bad. I think the best part of it was the first 7 minutes and some of the fight scenes.
Yeah,
but not bad.
I agree.
The Scorpion was awesome. Sub-Zero was awesome. They could have done work with the story.
Yeah,
they could have done work with the story, but it's hard because it's a video game. It is a video game. Like, you can't really expect them to come out real strong.
I don't know, man. The first Mortal Kombat was way better. Story-wise, in my opinion.
I feel like it's the same. I feel like it was the same.
Roughly around the same. And then you have to take in mind that when we watched that, how old were we, David, when we watched Mortal Kombat? I mean, how old were you? Probably
what year did it come out?
It was early 90s, right?
No.
Late 90s, I believe.
Yeah. Late 90s?
I want to say 97, maybe?
I believe. Let's take a look. I believe I was already in Arizona when that movie came out, and we moved over here back in 99, I believe.
Right.
So, as a matter of fact, I'll search for it right now.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I actually watched that movie a year or two ago.
Right.
I still dug it, but maybe I
like it. I still enjoy it regardless. Like I said, it felt the same to me. Like there wasn't
1995. Are you talking about like it being cheesy, kind of?
Yes,
same type of vibe.
It had the same type of like cheesy vibe that I enjoyed in the original Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, but the original one had like the one thing that this movie was lacking: character development.
What do you mean? There was very little character development.
Are you kidding? I was watching this version and I was like, I really don't I don't care what happens to Liu Kang in this movie. Like, whereas, in the original, I'm like, if my man dies, I'm walking out this theater. And I was like,
tell me you weren't 12. Excited. You weren't excited for that one scene when you see like the sun up and you're like, oh, that's Liu Kang. That's Liu Kang. And then like his little like miniature copy of him came out.
Oh.
You were excited up to that point at least.
Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of things in that movie that I was expecting something to come up, but it never like proved. Like, there's that one part where you see what's her name, Katana's fans, and I'm like, oh, is she gonna pop up? No, never.
Because they're hoping for a sequel.
They're hoping for a sequel,
so and you can't have everything.
It's you're trying to get all these characters in, and if you're trying to fill them in with backstory, it's really hard. So I felt like it was it was like a cheaper version of gathering your heroes together, like the Avengers. Like, we got to gather these heroes together.
So DC did it. DC brought the Mortal Kombat characters together.
Well, yeah, except DC did it better.
So, I mean that's what it felt like to me. Like they're spending this time to gather these characters all together, and then for this big tournament, this big mission. So, and then literally, I think we were talking about this prior to starting. We're talking about Cole's character, like his character. David, you said it best. He's a punching bag. Like, literally, all the expositions being told to him, and that is literally just for us, for the audience, so that we can get caught up and as to what's going on. So his character development was, non-existent. I think I really didn't like. I didn't care for the character. I wasn't a big fan of him.
I think there's potential there, but yeah, they kind of dropped the ball with him. But it's because they weren't focused on him. They wanted more about Scorpion, but maybe they couldn't afford having all the stuff about Scorpion, so they went with another character. They're like, we'll just throw him, sprinkle him. Scorpion's too expensive to like play up and get a good story for, you know. Even his what was his special power? What is it when they get their special powers?
The Arcana.
Arcana. So even when he got his Arcana, all it was him getting beat, and then all the punches he took, he can punch back even harder.
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
I thought
that's exactly what I thought. I was like,
but the Black Panther did it better.
He was, definitely. He was taking the hits, and then you could see it turn red, and I was like, Black Panther. And then she was like uppercut, and you could see it go through and come up red to his fist, and I was like, called it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, there were certain things, and then his costume, they kind of dropped the ball on a bit. They dropped the ball on it.
The budget went to Sub-Zero, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm not too mad about Sub-Zero. So.
I mean, they really did focus, and you could tell that they spent a little bit more time creating and developing those particular outfits for Sub-Zero and Scorpion, as opposed to Liu Kang, for example, who's like his outfit's very generic, pretty much almost shirtless or shirtless, and then you got Jax, who is literally shirtless the entire time, pretty much, except for like the first opening scene. Other than that, shirt comes right off. We get it. You're fit.
Yeah.
So they really, I think they did that specifically, and Cole's very basic. So they got away from those characters and those outfits and really focused and put a lot of time and effort to Scorpion and Sub-Zero, because I believe they felt like they knew that the audience was there because those are the two popular characters. So to see those two, duking it out, they got to look good.
Mm-hmm.
True. I mean, yeah, everyone wanted to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight. So,
dude, the trailers made me want to see all that for like an hour and a half straight.
And unfortunately, it was only for like 15, 20 minutes.
The trailers played the best part of the movie.
Yeah, you're right.
The trailers, and then the first 7 minutes.
Yeah, you guys know they released like the first 7 minutes of the movie. Online.
Watched it.
Why?
Because that was the movie.
That was the best part, man. That's the hook.
That was the whole movie.
Hook. They gotta get you hooked, and then from there you're like, oh, this looks good.
Yeah.
Like I was into it the first 7 minutes. I was like, dang, this is pretty good. I like it. We keep watching. And then it shut off. I was ready to watch the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. Like I felt like that was them just unloading their best just to get people hooked, because like halfway through that movie, I was ready to tune out.
No, I thought it was so good. I feel like Kano saved the good portions of it.
Yep.
Like his humor and everything helped a lot.
Yeah.
Liu Kang's character was so-so.
He was boring.
Sonya was so-so. She was so all needy and felt all pouty and stuff, or seemed all pouty. I like Jax. Jax is one of my favorite characters playing the game. This guy playing Jax, I think he did, decent job. He did a good job. He did a good job. My only thing was when he went and chased after Sub-Zero. I thought that was the guy got special powers. Why are you going to run up in there if you don't got any?
He's got a shotgun.
He's got a shotgun.
Okay. And we saw what happened to the shotgun.
Did Jax not watch the first Mortal Kombat when the guy shot at Sub-Zero with a pistol? It doesn't work.
Right? Like you're dealing with someone from another realm. I don't think the shotgun.
But at least I do like that part of it is that they referenced the 1995 movie by doing that particular scene. Although it wasn't with a pistol, it was with a shotgun. But it was the exact same thing. I thought that was pretty cool. Obviously, it looked way better here because it was a shotgun. You can see the. It wasn't a buckshot. It was what are they called?
Birdshot.
Yeah. So it was just like you could see all the little BBs and everything kind of spread out. I thought that was, and they're all frozen. So I thought that was super cool. What I didn't like is if you're getting your hands frozen, literally frozen, to where they break, I would figure you'd have more of a reaction. Maybe I guess he was trying to aim for I'm shocked, like he's shocked that this just happened to him.
Yeah.
But it just I don't know, dude. Like
you want him to start screaming?
yes, like you literally just lost both of your arms.
Yo, I agree with you, man. Because whenever I take out the trash at night when it's cold, my balls like shrivel up, dude. So I understand how he was just cool about it.
Because he knew he thought he was going to die. And honestly, I think in that situation, you should just be quiet so you can just go out like a badass. Like didn't make one word.
You, David.
Didn't make one word.
99% of the rest of us would be crying and be like, don't.
My dick beaters.
Yeah. He got robotic ones. He's okay. He's like, yes.
Yeah. And that was something that Oscar brought up. The way that they didn't really get, how did he get his arms? Like they were like where let them do their work, you know? And it goes from that he has no arms, and that scene, let them do their work or do their job. And then the next scene when Sonya's there with him, he has these little bitty little Terminator, you know, arms. And it's just like there's no explanation to it. Did they grow out?
Obviously, you haven't seen Dororo. Watch the anime Dororo. It'll explain how he got his arms. Okay.
You know,
I don't know. Talking about.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know, man. I was getting Power Ranger vibes. Like the moment their Arcana like popped up, like they just knew what to do with it. And like Eddie said, like it just didn't feel natural.
I mean, having metal arms isn't natural anyway, so.
Yeah, but he sure made it seem that way.
I mean, he was pouty for a little bit too.
It was
he had like his little pout scene, and plus, when he first got them, they were tiny. It's not like they gave him. So I mean, it was I'm not remembering his kata or whatever.
Arcana.
Yeah, his Arcana was the one that knew he was going to have beast arms. They gave him little shrimp ones. Like he had little straws, as far as I'm concerned. You know,
he took steroids.
Like he was struggling with them, but.
His arms turned into fucking Iron Man arms, and they fucking just got all.
I guarantee. I guarantee you, if that was a cutscene in the game, you would be okay with it.
No, hell no. Like, you insult my intelligence, sir.
Well, then, what do you want? What do you want it to be for him? Just for him, for his character. What do you want for his arms?
Like, at least for his arms, I feel like they should have like, because you know in the game they're like. The government like upgraded his arms, so like maybe not the government, but maybe like whoever made the shitty versions of the arms, like here's upgrade 2.0, but instead this man gets like his magic power
here's
was
upgrade
to get
2.0.
Yeah,
he's like, here, this is all of our fine metals and all of our riches from our temple. Just put them on your arms and beat them up.
They come included with Wi-Fi.
Like anything other than like, yo, like by the power of fucking Grayskull, here's your goddamn arms.
Yeah, it's a cheap way to give them their abilities. But what I was saying by that, like, is it felt really rushed, and I get it. When you have these type of movies and you have people get new abilities, it's hard to be able to show them their how to learn how to use them in a short period of time, right? We're all watching this right now with Invincible, right? He learned his abilities, and now it's going episode by episode by episode, and he's still learning as he's going, but he's given more time for the audience to see him actually develop those powers. Here, they have just a few minutes of screen time to actually try to put that in, and Sonya was one of them as well. She got the powers from Kano, and then when she went to go shoot what's her face, she just she already knew how to do or what to do. She just like aimed her arms, and I don't know where, boom, just shot her, and she was just like all cool about it. It's like, what? Like, we just
that's privilege right there.
White power.
Jesus, we're gonna get canceled.
No reason she should have got her power so fast. All right.
right?
She didn't go through the struggle. All right, Jax had to lose his arms, get little tiny arms, and then he went and saved her to get his big arm.
Yeah. Yo, that's another thing.
Where's the
That boulder
justice?
should have killed her.
Yeah.
It was probably propped up. Yeah, it was propped up on privilege.
All right. So let's talk about, okay, so their budget, I looked it up, was 95 million.
Really?
Yeah. I was a little surprised
Yeah.
too. That's why we only see, I think, the two actors that I think are most known was the guy that played Scorpion and Sub-Zero, which makes sense because their interactions and their fight scenes and the choreography and all that, like these guys are really good. You see them in other movies.
Yeah.
And I'm sure a big portion of their budget at least went towards those. Everybody else are like B actors. Like I've never seen them on anything else. I don't know if you guys have. I personally have not. So the acting was not like A-listers. So I'm assuming that since they got them on a good price by SAG, which I think their highest paid is like 60,000. But 95 I'm sure went to the CGI. I personally think a big portion of that went towards CGI, and what really lacked was, and it suffered because of it, was the set designs and the costume building. Because David, you mentioned is Cole's costume. Holy crap, when you do close-ups, you got to see that, man. If you're filming really it, you should be like, can we get anything else to change that outfit? Because you can see it looks like rubber.
It made me think of like watching the old school Ninja Turtles, where they have like a little foam and you see it. Yeah, it was the same thing.
Hey, on that, the guy who played Cole, I may be wrong, but was he the dude who played the male in Twin Vipers and Black Mirror?
Oh,
I think
so. I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I don't know who that is.
Is that your favorite episode?
I mean, honestly, like for the future implications of what could possibly be a thing, yes, it was my favorite episode. The Falcon is in that one too.
He is, yeah. You know what I like? I'll save this for later. Go ahead. I'll save it for later.
Raiden, what did you guys feel about that? Because for one, I didn't like his eyes.
No,
I thought the eyes were kind of cheesy, but
they were very cheesy.
I
thought the electricity that they did with him, though, like a lot of that's where a lot of the CGI money was spent, because when he would like lift up and like do his like electricity, like it looked pretty good. So, but then you just look at his eyes and you're just like, it's really bad.
But that's fine.
I love the
deal
eyes.
with him much. Yeah, you don't deal with him much. So like that little bit, I think was okay. Like that didn't bother me that much. Like it was one scene I was like, but it's fine. Like it wasn't too crazy.
What about some of these mortalities? I thought it was super cheesy when the fatalities? Like, the fatalities. Yeah. When he would just like who was it? Kung Lao when he killed that girl and he said flawless victory or something like that.
Yeah, it's just them saying it.
I was just like, who are you saying it to? Like, why are you what?
Yeah.
You don't do that? I do that all the time.
Yeah, when you take a dump.
Yep. Yeah. Flawless victory.
I'm gonna start using that whenever I get intimate with the wife. Just gonna whisper it in her ear.
Fatality.
Fatality. It was stuff like that was like, this is a little cheesy. But they were pretty cool. You know, they spent good money on, like I said, the CGI portion of it. So when it came to those type of brutal like killings and stuff like that, like they try to really replicate what the video games do. And I thought that was pretty cool. Jax had one, Kung Lao had one. Who else had a cool Scorpion?
Kano.
Kano, yep.
I mean, when Sonya blew the hole in that one lady, she had the hole and had her spine and everything, which I call BS because she only had the spine showing and her ribs and everything were gone. But
I called BS on that too. I was like,
it should have been a complete hole. She did half the job. She didn't even complete it.
She just learned her power.
Yeah, she just got it.
Yeah, but I think definitely uh the comedy relief in regards to this movie was definitely Kano, and
Mhm.
he shined. And I was telling you guys, I don't know, a lot of times when you have an actor like that who likes to improvise or who likes to kind of just go with it and be like, "Hey, I'm really feeling this," a lot of directors be like, "Hey, like go for it," like, and they'll let them improvise.
Mhm.
I think they might have done that with him because a lot of his I don't think that was scripted, man. A lot of the stuff that he was saying, I think it was just improvised, and it worked so well, man. Bloody hell, fucking hell, or,
Yeah.
and it was just like stuff like that. You're just like laughing. My wife was sitting with me and watched it, and we both went into it with low expectations. And I told her, I was like, "Hey, this is based on a video game." She was like, "Yeah, I seen the one back in 1995." I was like, "Oh, okay." So we watched it, and she was like, every scene that he was pretty much in, she was laughing her ass off. It was great. So I think his character definitely helped, like, kind of somewhat save this movie.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, he did. He did he was a big part in keeping the movie going. But I felt like there was little scenes here and there that were just, to me, were like funny. They're a little over the top, but it was just like the video game. Like in that first 7 minutes when you see like Scorpion throw the spike in the guy's head.
Yeah.
And then he snatches him down to break his neck.
Yeah.
I was like, is that necessary? Like, the guy's dead, and then you broke his neck just because. But that's the video game. Like that's the video game. That's what you did. You know what I mean? Like, you could AB, ABC or whatever, try to get the combos to kill them 3 times over.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you. Some of the killer blows did seem a bit exaggerated, but I mean that's what Mortal Kombat is, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. It's more.
Yeah, that's what the video game is.
Like it anyways, yeah.
So I don't mind that. It was extra bloody and glory. Like, that was pretty cool. I like, because it's going with the source material from the game.
Yeah, but it's hard to not kind of laugh at that scene.
Yeah,
like seeing it actually, you're like, oh, like, I guess.
Yeah, I get it. I mean, let me ask this though. Like, did you guys feel like you cared about Cole's family at all?
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, when they got frozen, I'm like, they're dead. Good. Let's move on.
Good. Dang, all I think is Scorpion screwed up. If he would have lived, he could have saved his family. Oh no, they had Spike going through.
Did they?
Yeah.
They had
2 spikes going through them.
Yeah.
Why didn't he do that with them then?
I don't know. Just to tease him, I guess. Like,
soft in his old age. He got soft in his old age.
No, I mean, those are characters that are just side characters. They're just there just to kind of help the plot go along as far as Cole's character, because that's the only way that he was going to unlock it, which you pretty much already got the sense of that was going to happen when I think Raiden was telling him how Hanzo, Scorpion, got his power or something like that with, like, the loss of his, like, family, or and then so you're already, I'm just like, well, his Cole's family is going to be in danger. Sure enough, he goes back to the family, and I was like, yep, this is where it's going to be. So you kind of just call it. So they're there just to help him as far as the story, for him to get his powers.
Makes sense.
But they should have done more for his story and for his power.
Yeah,
just a little more. I think they could have done a little bit more, because he was a new character that was introduced. They should have given a little more of a backstory for the new character. Or if he has ties to Scorpion, it should have been similar to Scorpion.
Yeah. At least his fit should have matched. Yeah,
I think if they would have kind of went that route, instead of having, like, this, like, funky armor around his body, if they would have gave him kind of like a ninja fit, and then that like
so much better,
his armor underneath, like, like, can't be broken through or whatever, like, that would have been kind of cool. Or just like, almost invincible, just take hits and just you don't fall down. they didn't need to show it on his body.
Yeah.
It didn't look good. It didn't come across. I think you were totally right. Like if they would have put something over, and even if they would have kept the suit on the way that he had it, but just put some cool like I don't know, just something over it, so it you can't see the flaws in that, because that took me away from the movie. I was just like, as soon as I saw the rubber suit kind of just like going, you know, I was just like, the heck.
Well, that and then like the lines, like when you see it like around the neck and stuff like that, that always kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, a lot of these characters were kind of just thrown off. You know, Kano, I would have loved to see more of. But, you know, I understand why then Sonya was kept for so long, because during the whole time, I'm like, dude, she doesn't have the marking. Like, why is she still there? Why is she still there? And then they literally just kept her in there so that it was so that she can kill Kano and take, you know, the what is it, the symbol or whatever.
Yeah. Which would have been funny if she didn't get it.
Right. And then,
like,
then you're just like, why are you still here? Like, just
like,
why is Raiden still allowing her to still be there?
I'll be like, you don't have the mark, get out here, don't eat our food.
Right.
Like taking up our air, eating up our food.
For real.
Get out of here.
So I personally
go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say I personally think it's lazy writing that like you get the symbol, like if you take that person out, like what if you're in the middle like of walking the street and then there's a drive-by and then straight bullet hits you, and then next you know Johnny over there's got like a Glock with a dragon mark on his fucking ass cheek.
Hey, then he got it. Whatever.
I call bullshit.
What if you have the marking and you have a heart attack?
That's a good question.
Or you're in a car crash and you die. Like who gets it then?
Like
it's up in the air.
Heart attack wise, it would be the person who made the Twinkie. Car crash wise, it'll probably be, I don't know, say the guy who like stamped the engine.
The insurance agent. The insurance agent is the one that gets the marking.
Can you imagine being that lazy worker sitting there and you forget to like tighten up something on the brakes, and you're the one that you're the one that gets the mark?
So you got to defend Earth. Yeah, this movie had a lot of plot holes. It had a lot of cheesy lines, definitely, and the story was not concrete. They could have definitely got better writers for it, but you know, which is kind of a shame, because movies nowadays with half this budget make better movies. And I mean, they just get better directors, they just get better writers, maybe they have more experience, I don't know, maybe it's the actors. But movies with just at 100,000, 100 million make amazing movies. And this was just another movie that kind of just falls aside based off a video game. Not great. Doesn't completely suck, unless Oscar thinks it does.
I don't think it does. You know, we nitpick it because we want to nitpick it and go through stuff. I would watch it one more time. I think, like I said, I enjoyed watching it, at least. Like there was stuff that was off-putting, but I still enjoyed watching it.
All right. So you say you'll watch it, right? But would you pay full ticket price to watch it?
No, it's free. I have HBO Max.
there you go. Wasn't that good then?
But I would have paid to watch it in theaters.
Oh, hell no.
Without knowing.
Well, without knowing, I think we wouldn't have a choice, right?
No, exactly. I get you.
That brings up my segment that I always bring up. You know, it's rewatchability. Would you guys be able to rewatch this movie and or recommend it? Oscar's clearly on the no side. He would not watch this movie again, even if there was a gun to his head. No. He'd probably be like, "Okay, I'll watch it," and fall asleep. As far as me, I don't know. I'd probably maybe watch it once more, give it another chance. Maybe I was being too harsh on it and too critical on it. The beginning scene and the final scene with the fight between Scorpion and Sub-Zero were by far the highlights of that movie. The choreography and everything, and the cool things that they were able to do with their CGI and things that you just don't think about, like if this guy had superpowers and with ice, like how they fight. So I really enjoyed that. So I would watch it one more time right now since it's free, but I don't know. Maybe not more than that.
I would watch it again one more time. Like I said, I don't mind. It's still, I was excited to watch it, but I wasn't too hyped. I know how it is when you make video game movies. Like you can't really expect it to be phenomenal.
Yep.
But I mean, it just makes me think of the original Mortal Kombat. Like it was still a cheesy movie. You just enjoy watching it for its cheesiness. I just feel like the original Mortal Kombat was more of a like B-rated type movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like I like B-rated movies. This one, we weren't looking at it as a B-rated movie. Like we expected it to be like crazy, CGI, like on point fighting, but it's based off a video game. It's still somewhat going to be like a B-rate movie.
Right.
Yeah.
So like in that category, I think it's fine. I mean, I'm not saying it's like bad, but like thinking of it like that, like something's over exaggerated. It was fine. Like I think it has some watchability. So now I want to spend too much money to go to theaters, but it has some watchability.
I guess so. Going on this and following up the conversation here is that from what they've already set up from the story, you can tell that they were aiming to make more.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think a second gets greenlit?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a sequel.
You think it ends with this one here?
Yeah, I mean, because at the end of the day, you're gonna probably look at ticket prices, and let's not lie, a bunch of people probably watch this for free on HBO Max.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it unless because of the hype and because people have been so tired of being at home, maybe they go watch the movie. I think honestly, it's most likely going to just break even. If anything, it might do a little bit over 100,000. I don't think it'll get greenlit for a second.
No.
I don't think. I mean, the reviews are probably going to tear it apart. That alone probably scare people from going to watch it. So I don't think it'll get greenlit for a second one.
No, I don't think so. But I say we at least watch it 2 times. At least watch it twice.
And if you have HBO Max, at least give it a watch. At least give it. I mean, it's for free. What's gonna might as well. If you got like an hour to burn, what is it? Hour and a half? I don't know.
Hour and 50, bro.
Yeah,
was it?
Yeah.
Geez. Well, if you got 2 hours to burn and you got nothing to do on your day, you got HBO Max. I guess I would say watch it just because. But
if you watch the Snyder cut of Justice League, you should be able to sit down for an hour and 15 minutes.
That's true.
Dude, no, hell no.
15 minutes.
Halfway through that movie, I was already fed up. Like Justice League, I wanted more.
Right. I mean, it was really good, but
so
I don't think it was that.
Zack Snyder released a Mortal Kombat Snyder cut, please.
Snyder cut.
It'd be a lot more slow-mo.
A lot more slow-mo.
A little X-ray.
So as far as here's where we are at with movies based off video games. Looks like another miss. Wasn't a knockout. It wasn't a home run. So I guess we have The Last of Us to kind of hope that that's the next movie or the next show that's going to come out based on a video game. So hopefully that can impress us and they can take it from there and kind of start changing the ways of these movies that are coming out based on video games. But you heard it from us, guys. It's a movie.
Yeah.
So
low expectations, enjoy.
Yeah, low expectations, go low expectations, and you might be pleased.
Yeah.
But anyway, this is Guyverse. Thanks for joining us, guys. We really appreciate it. We're gonna get off for a little bit, just a few quick minutes, and we'll be jumping back on to talk about the Falcon and Winter Soldier, the season finale, and what our final thoughts are on the entire season as a whole, and of course the ending and what we thought. So come back and join us in a few minutes.